Namaste. Welcome to Steadfast. This is a practice of intention setting, mobility, and a meditative state. And you'll need 30 minutes, likely a yoga mat or a yoga towel. We'll start in a seated pose for intention setting, and it is for a duration of about 5 minutes. That is intention setting. Modify throughout the practice as needed, meaning that if something does not serve, or if a additional movement or mindset is needed for your wellness, then please modify. In intention setting, it is with a new or existing intention in mind. Can be as simple as one word, like trust. It can be a complete sentence. Like, trust my good heart, I know. Finding what has meaning to your practice. And there's an element of perspective to the intentions that are shared or that are with, though maybe not quite developed. And that is that a word may be with multiple purposes, or it may mean something in one context that serves in more relevance than if it were in another context. The example is how trust can be a verb or a noun, but also that how the noun or the verb are viewed makes a difference for it serving as an intention. So that was a long way of saying that even if an existing intention doesn't feel as though it may be extremely relevant to this very moment, it's possible that with a perspective shift or with a bit of imagination, that the same word or intention can be very relevant to what is being asked to be, which is a recurring anchor of focus. Now that we've developed the anchor that we're going to return to for the practice, let's transition to the mobility portion of Steadfast, which is 20 minutes. And for this beginning of the mobility portion, let's find a table pose on all fours. Again, when there's a cue for a position, it can be modified. There is no pressure to be in any pose at any time. And in the table pose, let's move through cat-cow spinal flexation. Finding the breath here in this pose of inhale and exhale with movement. And prepare in the neutral table for a downward facing dog. To open up the hamstrings, pedal the feet or the legs. Alternating the stretch on each side. And return to table. We'll keep pretty light on the wrists for this practice. Let's bring one leg forward into a low lunge, and then immediately lift the palms above the head. So there should be a really good opening at the front of the back thigh, or the supporting thigh. And coming to a twist, it can be where the torso is still upright, opening up towards the side of the room that is the same as the front leg, or the palm can plant, the one that is at the same side of the back leg, and then the arm that is the same side as the front leg can be reaching upward. Maybe even a rotation of the two. And we'll center. Low lunge. Let's come to widen that foot in the front and planting both palms in whichever order. This pose is lizard. So it's an opening for that front leg. It's a joint that is connected to the hip or the pelvis. Find a neutral table. Second side of low lunge. So stepping the foot forwards, palms go up above the head. There should be a stretch in the front of the back thigh. And then twist. Same options of whether it's a bit more grounded or if it's a lifted twist. It should feel like the torso is being a bit compressed. And center in low lunge. Then widening the front leg lizard. Breathe deep. Neutral table. Let's widen the knees for a child's pose. Resting the forehead. And table. However, to get to mountain, I'm guiding a forward fold by bending the knees and bringing them a bit, bringing the soles forward one at a time, draping the torso over the legs, and then coming to a standing posture. So we're in mountain. Let's do a bit of balance to check in. It'll be one side and then the other. So first, tree pose on one side. Maybe microbend the standing leg. Just feel as supported as you can in the standing balance. With every exhale, letting the shoulders relax a little bit more. Anchoring in the strength of the foundation of the lower body. That was pretty wonderful. Let's come to a mountain and then just find a seat for a minute. This is where we're going to reintroduce, or maybe we've already been with intention, the one that we've cultivated, the one that we are cultivating. And returning to mountain. However, maybe it starts with a forward fold. But standing is where we'll meet and find that second side of tree for a similar duration. side is a bit different. Let's meet in mountain. And just notice from here in the standing pose. Back to table. Cat-cow. And prepare for low lunge. However, use support if needed. Let's find a high lunge. So same foundation, but the back knee is lifted. Now the stretch is in the back of the calf of the back leg. It may also be in the front thigh of the back leg, or other places of the body depending on how you're in the pose. Lifting the palms above the head. And lower the back knee. Lift the palms up. Let's twist again. Either supported or freestanding. Center. Return to high lunge, same side. Let's practice our balance. So it can be to a warrior three. It could be to a tree pose as we've practiced previously. Or another variation of exercising the balance that is supported by the left leg or the side, the first side that we're practicing with. Meet back in high lunge. Lower the back knee. Be on both knees. Table or just supported by the shins. And let's come to the second side. For a low lunge first. To a high lunge. Opening that hamstring, maybe the back thigh too. Palms up. then lowering the back knee. Twist with support or upright. And neutral low lunge with the palms up. Lift the back knee for high lunge. And balance. Maybe warrior 3, tree pose, or variation. Meet back in a high lunge. Palms up. Lower the back knee. Come to both knees. Widen the knees and child's pose, resting the forehead. Lifting the forehead. Let's find a seat. A few stretches before we conclude the practice with a meditative state. So we'll start with side body opening, lifting one arm and not necessarily leaning, but lifting the entirety of the torso, and particularly the side of the lifted arm. Develop that motion with a twist by opening up towards the opposite side of the room. That palm can rest, meaning that the palms don't need to be lifted, or they can. And center the body. Palms up. Keep one palm up, the one that wasn't stretched before. And just a little lean if needed. Maybe not even at all. graduate it to a twist. And center the body. Let's meditate about 3 minutes. Maybe rotate the shins. Maybe with the intention or just the clarity of the mind. In stillness or with movement, eyes opened or closed. Lift the corners of the mouth. Thank you so much for practicing Steadfast, intention setting, mobility, and meditative state. It's been an honor practicing with you. Namaste.